This episode of Reasonable Doubt definitely pulled at your emotional heartstrings. Oh my goodness. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Lawrence Support. I got these tissues here for anybody that may need a few. I'm not going to lie. This episode got your boy. Listen, we got to talk about this episode, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. This is very emotional, man. Very emotional episode. We all will know somebody that's been affected by cancer, right? And I ain't gonna lie, this episode got your boy. Your boy had some misty eyes. You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean about this episode. Mama Lou has cancer. We'll start off with Mama Lou. We gotta start with Mama Lou, of course, right? Mama Lou got cancer. Thankfully, what we know is stage 2, right? And of course, Jax, top of the episode, she's confronting Eddie and Lewis about it, right? And from there, she's very upset because she felt like she was looking at Lewis like, did you know about this right here? And she's going off of Eddie as well. And with Mama Lou and this cancer, your entire world feels like, or for anybody, just not Mama Lou, but for anybody, it feels like your entire world is about to come, crashing down. So now Jax is, teary eyed, emotional, and then we had these flashbacks. I'm so proud of Reasonable Doubt for giving us these flashbacks of younger Jax because we get a chance to see, what kind of trauma she grew up with. We get a chance to see, how her world, her younger world, shaped who she is now as a woman, as a lawyer, as a black woman, as a professional, as a mother, as a wife, right? As a daughter, right? So I'm glad they introduced us to this younger version of Jax. Can we get a chance to see all of it, right? And the daddy, oh my God, Eddie, come on, bro. We know that Eddie's always loved music, right? There was that one scene where Jax was playing with the guitar and he kind of snapped at her, right? And that was just completely bad. Um, and not to mention, when it came to Eddie, him, taking some of the societal pressures, I guess you can say, right, off of him, what he would do, he would use, I don't know if I can say that word, but he would use rugs, put it like that. We'll say he would use rugs. I don't know if I can say the word start with a D because you know how YouTube is, but he would use rugs. And while he was doing this, Jax also sees him doing this right here, and I think he called it his medicine or happy medicine or something like that. And on top of that, you know how children love to mimic what their parents do, right? She goes to the playground and she basically does what her daddy was doing. I'm like, oh my God. So from there, we see him from time to time in this episode snort a little something here and there to take the edge off, I guess. And it's completely bad because the mom even tells him, like, yo, I need you to stay away. And you could tell Jax truly loved her daddy when she was a child. Jax was like a true definition of a daddy's girl, right? The mom pushed her dad away because she was trying to protect. I get it. Mom was trying to protect, right? The issue is, of course, young Jax opens up the door, let her daddy back in. He does some drugs, talking about I got a surprise for you. He does drugs and he's collapsed on the floor. And at the same time, Jax, she always kept that pick, that guitar pick, because that guitar pick reminded her so much of her dad, right? So now, of course, Mama Lou. Let's talk about Mama Lou more. I don't think I talked enough about her, but let's talk about her more. She tells Jax, when Jax confronts her, they have a little confrontation, and Mama Lou said, "This is one reason why I didn't want to tell you this right here because I knew how you was going to act up, right?" And then it comes to them. It's time for Mama Lou to get surgery. She says, "This is who I'm going to go with." Jax says, "Well, we need a second opinion. The other doctors in LA, they owe me a favor." Mama Lou puts her foot down and she says, "This is who I'm going to go with." And again, I should have also said this at the beginning. Jax felt some type of way when it came to Eddie finding out before her about the cancer. But at the same time, Eddie has a secret that he's not told. He's not told Jax yet. And Lewis is also reminding him to let him know, you better tell her or I will tell her. And I'm like, listen, Eddie, you got to tell it all now, man. You can't be hiding no more secrets. There's no more room for you to hide when it comes to you telling the truth about who you are and your background, right? We know Mama Lou's going to go to the hospital. She's going to have surgery. But that one scene when they was walking down that hospital hallway, my heart was racing. Because I was like, oh my God, is this going to be it for Mama Lou? Like, are they gonna kill her off like this right here? My heart was absolutely racing. But at the same time, before that, speaking of being honest, the parents decide they want to tell the kids the truth. And I thought the joke with Spencer had about his daddy. He was like, "Yo, this better not be another baby." He's like, This how I use dark humor, right?" I thought that was hilarious, but no, they told the kids the truth, and the kids was crying, right? And it was just a sad situation. This whole episode is so sad. It just weighed heavy, on you. You know what I'm saying? And thankfully, Mama Lou, she's gonna be okay. As of right now, we don't know because we know Jackson's gonna be crying later. Mama Lou could be laid out on the floor. I don't know, but as of right now, Mama Lou is going to be okay. I really love that scene when Jax was in the church, right? Because a lot of times when people, I don't know how religious she is, but a lot of times when people are at their lowest point, they do tend to turn to the church, right? And Eddie was there with her, and they're talking about history. They're talking about the guitar pick as well, but he kind of says, "Well, I never truly left you that guitar pick," but Jackson was using it every time she missed her father. She would, touch that guitar pick or think about that guitar pick, right? And I do appreciate this. In the end, we know Mama Lou, as right now, she seems to be okay. She's gonna pull through, right? But I do love this part at the end, right? Jax and her father, they embrace each other. And she says, "I love you, Dad." And I feel like he's been waiting a lifetime in his eyes to hear her say those words that "I love you." I think those words mean everything to him, even though he's still holding them secret. That is going to break her heart even more. He gotta tell her the secret. I didn't know which way Bill was going to go, but as of right now, he's on Team Jax, right? Jax lets Bill know about what's going on with her mother. She has cancer. Bill's like, "Yo, take some time. I'll go over the files. I'll take care of it, or I'll take care of the case." The top partner comes in. He asks what's going on. Bill spills the tea. And all he had to do was just say that, Jack is handling a personal matter. He spills the tea. He's like, "Oh God," the top partner's like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry to hear that. But, we got a deadline we got to make, right?" And Bill snaps at him, which I thought was pretty good. I was like, "Okay, Bill, maybe you are on the bright side of history right now." And the top partner says, "Well, don't take too long. Give her a day or two, but we got to get back on it, right?" So I'm like, okay, maybe you hooking up with Sally, made some sense. Hopefully, Sally helped you get them rocks off, and it finally made some sense. But again, we don't know about Bill. And of course, while Jack is actually preparing a baby shower in the midst of all this, right? Autumn and her girl, they got a baby shower going on, and Jax is feeling some type of way, very emotional. Here comes Sally. Sally and Bill slept together the night before, right? Bill tells Sally about, Jax. And that's when she's like, "Oh, I didn't know." So Sally now shows up to the party, says, "I'm so sorry about your mother." Jax is like, "Well, how'd you find out?" She was like, "Oh, Lewis." Then she told the truth, like, "Oh, yeah, me and Bill are screwing." What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like that's crazy bullshit. She's like, "Hey, we are two grown folks, right?" And this thing is stressing Jax out so bad that she is about to result in smoking a cigarette. But Chanel comes through to save her. Chanel gives her some encouraging words like, "Yo, don't do this. I'm here for you." Jax, imagine if you was in your mother's shoes. What would you do? You know what I'm saying? So Jax is kind of like having this conversation with herself and her mind and with a friend about, the way things have turned out with her mother. Very emotional, very emotional. A lot of tears everywhere. I'm so glad that Chanel came through in the clutch to look out and hug her friend, right? One of the funniest parts I've been waiting to talk about, without a doubt, is when Crystal met up with Daniel. Crystal spilled the tea. Oh yeah, tell Kristen I said hello, or something like that. She said. I forgot what she said, but something like that. He's like, he starts running to her. He starts panicking. He's like, wait, how'd you know? She's like, oh yeah, I saw you and your girl doing sloppy hugs. I was like, yo, she caught you, my boy. Them pinkies up. She caught you, my boy. So now, he's, telling the story how, we know that he's supposed to meet up with Alex, and Daniels pretend to be, an author because it feels like Alex is getting ready to tell basically a tell-all book about Ozzy Edwards and the family. But while Jackson is at the hospital, Kristen is there too, right? Daniel Kristen talking. She's like, oh, I'm here to check on one of my friends or whatever. And Daniel knows that Kristen ain't telling the whole truth. Because we end up seeing Alex in this hospital. Looks like he's about to lose his life. Turns out he was end up getting beat up by somebody. Kristen has something to do with it because she says, oh yeah, well, on the phone, she's like, oh yeah, well, you don't have to worry about Alex too much because it looks like he's in some critical condition. So that's how the episode ends. Alex is messed up. Somebody's sending a hit on him. And again, a lot of people theories thinking that the sister Kristen has something to do with it. That only intensifies that the sister may and more than likely did have something to do with it. But the thing is, who's she talking to on the phone? That's the big thing. Who is she talking to on the phone? That's my thoughts about Reasonable Doubt. Y'all make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment as well. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.